you're in a position to win. Gonna go for two here. He's going for two. If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Got him!
One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
Shane said he's coming back.
It's fine.
Sorry, guys. Not.
Okay, we are live here again. I'm from the cottage, so if I drop out again, bear with us. Connectivity has been an issue.
Are those really blue skies I see over your shoulder there, Shane?
Those are very blue skies.
Oh,
the sun is shining. We're a couple Twisted Teas in right now at this point, and we have a special guest. So, Kacey, thanks for rejoining us. I know you got a big fight coming up.
Hot Wheels!
Where are you, Shane? Are you...
Why
is it white outside?
I am, well, I don't know what country you're in, but we have daylight savings in Canada, but I am about an hour and a half north of Toronto.
You know what country I live in?
Virginia.
It does look incredibly bright there, though, Shane. It looks like it's 2 p.m. It is quite crazy.
Virginia is not a country, but good job.
It's its own country. I thought we talked about that off camera, Kacey. That's what America says, right? West Virginia is its own little country.
No, Texas is its own country.
Yeah.
You're getting that confused.
Yeah, so you guys still wear masks sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we obviously had you on because we wanted to see your fight. The last time we talked about your fight, it didn't work out so well for us.
No, you jinxed
it. We had that big hype video, and then we weren't live at the time, at least, so at least no one got to see it.
Oh,
so we never actually posted it. But
yeah, I was ready like how many months ago? 5 months ago? 4 months ago? I was ready 4 months ago. So the extra training, I guess, is just a bonus at this point.
Yeah, and like that extra training, like how was rehab with all that? Like, was anything like were you working with somebody? Were you doing it all on your own? Like, how'd that go?
Initially, because I've never broken a bone in my entire life, like my entire 25 years, I did do physical therapy as soon as I got out of my cast, which was like 4 weeks, which is the shortest. Oh shit! Fuck. Oh.
Okay.
Which is
Jesus, my Christian ears over here.
You can swear on here, Kacey. It's okay.
My wire got caught on something, and I almost spilled my food on everywhere. The shortest amount of time you could be in a cast is 4 weeks because that's just how long bones take to heal. That's how long it takes to make strength gains in general. So I was like, get it off me as soon as I can. I don't want it on me. He's like, you really shouldn't take it off. And I was like, I want it off. And he was like, okay. So I actually got it off. He wanted me in the cast for 6 months, but I got it off in 4 months. And then he told me not to do anything stupid. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go lift weights. So I did.
That seems smart. I like that.
Yeah. A real go-getter you are.
I still in the cast. In the cast, I still did stuff with my. So I had the cast was like over top. I could still make a fist in the cast. So basically, in the cast, this is all I did for like 4 weeks, and I even did like what I could do with bands, just to keep the wrist muscles right here. Because if you move your fingers, you move the muscles in your wrist.
Right.
Moving. And so when I got out of my cast, the physical therapist was very impressed with me, A+ student, because I could make a fist, which not many people could do, and I could do this.
Oh, wow.
I could move all my fingers. So that's the importance of keeping, things moving when you're broken. Yeah. And then I did like maybe 2-3 weeks of physical therapy until they irritated me and I just stopped altogether. Because they kept telling me, like, so I love my orthopedist because he was like, just don't do anything stupid. You could do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to go bench. And then the physical therapist was like, You can't even run. Don't run. Don't do anything. If you're going to run, you have to have your hand up like this and go for a run. And I was like, I'm not going to lift my hand up above my head and go for a run. This is stupid. Like, she's like, well, that's the only way you're going to get blood flow. I was like, what? I was like, blood is flowing when I'm moving my arm. Like, so the only reason why I went to, I mean, I'm a personal trainer, but the only reason why I went to a physical therapist was because I just didn't know how anything worked because I was broken. I was like, how does somebody go from broken to better? Because I was worried about, I was very not confident about the flexibility of my wrists. So I was like, it was mostly to build my confidence so I could do things on my own. But once I started doing things on my own, and they were like, oh my God, you're like our best patient ever. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because I don't listen to you. Because I'm pretty sure it's a scam.
A money grab, right?
Yeah, they want you to be in physical therapy for as long as they want. So they're like, don't move it. And I'm like, mm-hmm. So basically, I thought it was a scam, and I was like, I'm not paying $20 for you giving me cookie cutter bullshit when I can like do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a personal trainer. Like, I can, like, you showing me, like, keeping me, I can keep myself accountable. Like, there are definitely some people who need it to like help with accountability who don't know, but like, if you're just gonna give me like exercises to do, like, I can do it by myself. Like, I don't need you there to like, okay, do this, do that, make a fist. Like, I like wanted to shoot myself in the face every time I went there. I hated it.
Now, is it fair to say that if Hot Wheels or not, if Cherry Blaster was the one that broke her wrist, there's no way that she would have been able to rehab and get back to this fight, right?
I don't know. Everybody's different. But I
Stop it.
Yeah, stop being so humble.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know I definitely, because I was at the gym, and like the minute I walked into the gym with my broken cast, like, cause everybody knows me there because like I'm a trainer there. They just like looked at me and they were like, like just giving me that shake, and I was like, hey. And then I would go and squat, or I would do a lower body exercise, or I'd go for a run, and they're like, oh my God, you're squatting? And I was like, I broke my wrist, not my leg. So
yeah.
I just
Tough
modified like, you know, everything I could do. I did shoulder raises on this side with the machine. Like, I was so determined not to get this left side atrophied. Like, I did not want to lose muscle, but it happened. I mean, I couldn't prevent it, but not as much as I thought it would. It's still this, I think this arm is still a little bit more weaker than my right arm. It's very unstable. I think it has the strength, but like the wrist stability, I still have to use kind of like a strap or something to make sure it doesn't, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just going to snap on me for no reason.
So like, that's what I wanted to ask you is like going into this fight, like, you know, I was probably 16, 17 when I fractured part of my ankle. And when I came back from that summer, it was from skateboarding. And when I came back trying to skateboard to the tail end of the summer, get as much as I possibly could in, I was a pussy. I was scared. I didn't want to do any tricks. I was nervous about landing on the board and all that jazz, twisting my ankle. How are we feeling, Casey? Going in this fight? Can you throw right?
That's not the least of my concerns.
All right. You hear that, Cherry Blaster? Yeah. There's going to be hella rights coming your way.
I hit a new bench PR the other day, so like I'm not worried about strength.
Holy,
I'm not worried
really?
I'm not worried about hitting people. Like, my wrist is like the least of my concerns right now.
Are you a little bit concerned that the belt that fits her isn't going to fit you because you're a little bit more in shape than she is? Do you think that is something
I think the belts are all I don't think they measure people's face before.
Well, it's something that they should keep in mind, because I think that there's a pretty significant difference between like the Cherry Blaster and the Hot Wheels leading the way. Which is the name that's the name of this episode, by the way.
Cherry Blaster just sounds like the name of the poop you just took. If you just like if you had like some bad diarrhea or something, like, that's what I would think Cherry Blaster.
This is why we have you on, Casey. Content like this. I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that she's tagged in this so that she can.
She doesn't have an Instagram, so
it's probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if we're gonna talk about facts, if we're gonna talk about objective facts,
Let's go.
she has put on 10 pounds just to fight me. The promoter had texted me and was like, I think she's cutting. And she was, she was at 135. She was at 135 like a couple fights ago, too. So she's like, I'm gonna put on 10 pounds just to fight her. And she's 5'4". I was like, really? You're 5'4" and you're gonna put on 10 pounds to fight me. That sounds like the worst idea that you could ever do to go into an event that's mostly cardiovascular aerobic activity. So honestly, like all I have to do is lose water weight. I like basically for the past couple weeks just bulked as much as I could. I was like, fine, if she's gonna put on 10 pounds, the catch weight I think is 139 to 160. I'm just gonna push that weight until I need to cut.
Yeah. Are you gonna show the guns? Are you gonna?
No, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I don't want to show them.
Oh, you can see it. You can see it through the sweatshirt.
Yeah, my sweatshirt's getting so tight.
Yeah, look at those things.
I need a women's large now because it's just
getting all big over there with your personal records and whatnot.
Other objective facts. So I did you watch the last Rough and Rowdy?
Like yours specifically? Yeah.
So I watched her fight in person. And some of the commentators, like if you listen to the last fight, it's streamed on Jujul somewhere. Like it's just like you can find it somewhere.
It's streamed on where?
Jujul. Google.
Is that Google? Oh my God. Jason,
Jujul.
you're making me feel old. Don't tell me there's a nickname for Google now. There's a slang for that?
Yeah. So if you just go on there and find it, you can see it and you can watch her fight. So of course I've watched it like a bunch of times. So when I was there, she was winded. The commentators are like, oh, she's not winded. And I was like, oh, she was pretty winded. And the only reason why her competitor like fell like apparently like 3 times or got knocked out a couple times is because Cherry Bomb pushes her punches. So literally all she did was push her and she fell over because the other girl was like so unbalanced because nobody knows how to fight. So she fell like 3 times. Like none of it was because she had any power behind her punches. I mean, honestly, if a 5', 152-pound girl can take punches from her, I feel like I can take a punch on her.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I've seen The Wizard of Oz before, and I'm imagining that you could beat up any of those people that are on The Wizard of Oz. So
oh my God.
I feel pretty good about I'm not gonna put the belt around you yet, but I have a question. When you are the champion, are you going to big time us, or are we still gonna be allowed to have you on here?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna big time you guys. I did have one of her posses message me on like Instagram telling me that I was going to get my ass kicked. There are a lot of people who are telling me.
Wow.
There are a ton of people telling me that I'm going to get my ass kicked. And I'm like, I'm not really sure. Like maybe it's how Rough and Rowdy posed it, but I'm not really sure where they're getting. I think it's because of my last fight. Granted, I only had 6 weeks of training. But I've had 6 months of training since my last fight, and I've watched my last fight. I understand my mistakes. I've looked at it. Cherry Bomb, for the past 3 fights that she's had since Rough and Rowdy 8, which could be like since 2018, so 3 years, has fought the same exact way. Same exact way every single fight. There's no way between 4 months ago when she fought in April to now that she has probably changed her fighting style. So she's very predictable.
So you watching your film, you were saying there, what did you think from that fight that you took away was I need to get better at that, if anything at all? Because
Oh,
I'm watching, I'm good with it, Casey. What are you seeing?
I'm saying that I need to do well. I've been currently working on my reach because a lot of the times she's getting too close to me. So either like I'm missing or she comes in too close and she grabs me. So it's like definitely I've been working a lot on keeping my distance and reach because I've been sparring with I don't have any girls to spar with because I'm 5'9", 150 pounds. The only girls apparently who like boxing are like 5'4", 120 pounds. So
Oh.
I can't really spar. Like I can spar with them a little bit, like I have been, but like I can't really like go full, throttle because I have like 30 pounds on them.
Yeah, but
So
couldn't
the
you just make
past,
them wear like a soaking wet life jacket so that they weigh the same as she does?
no, I just fight men who are like 5'6" and the same weight as me. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, our intern Josh has been challenging people to fight. So he wants to race you, which we think is a mistake on itself. But we
how's
also
that going to
think that
happen?
if he
How would we do
eventually
that?
we'll cross the border again. Yeah, we'll bring him your way.
Eventually we'll cross the border.
Yeah, we're not allowed right now. It's
We'll just catapult
you
them.
know, yeah, we can fly over, but we can't drive across right now. It's kind of a wild scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, we'll bring Josh down so that he can race you, and then you guys can box after.
Yeah, so I really think people just because you guys have like basically have known me since before my first fight? I don't know.
It was right after your first
after.
fight. We watched it and we were like, yo, there's no way that girl will come on with us. And then sure enough, you're like, yeah, oh come on. No problem.
Fair enough. Well, because I don't think because people have like they don't know me, and then that happened the same. It happened to like before. They said the same thing about what's her face, Lady Wolf. They said the same thing about me with Lady Wolf. They were like, "Oh, she's gonna kick her ass because she's just, skinny ring girl," and that's my own fault. It was my own fault for being a ring girl more times than I have fought.
Hey,
Some would just say it was being a shark out there, right?
So
you don't have to do the ring girl routine this year?
No, I have
event?
to. I don't want to, but
do
I
have
have to. I have to do
That's
it.
okay.
No,
Good
I just don't. I mean, it's fine. No, I have fun doing it. Like I have no it has nothing to do with me like not wanting to shake my ass because like who doesn't who doesn't want to do that? I mean, I just wanted
It's my morning routine.
It's your the twerk in the mirror routine to build your confidence.
I don't do it for me, Shane. I do it for Cindy. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say you could do all the normal ring girl stuff, but maybe don't eat hot dogs on the sideline.
I was so hungry. You don't even know because I had driven. I was in Morgantown, West Virginia, and that was like a 4 or 5 hour drive. And I was like, I didn't eat that entire drive because I was already running late. So I just like tried to drove straight through. And then Frank was making hot dogs, and I ate like 5 of them.
Friggin' Frank.
There's some pretty good videos that I've seen.
Because I was like, is he making hot dogs? I was like, are those hot dogs free? And nobody answered my question. So I was like, hey Frank, can you get me a hot dog? And he was like, okay. And then I was like, can you feed it to me?
The beginning and the end.
Yeah. Well, it's okay when you're not about to fight, right? Like you gotta enjoy yourself.
I don't know, the carbs, man, will help you kick some butt.
Hey, you're putting in a lot of work over there, so you can handle a couple carbs.
Oh yeah. No, I eat carbs still. I just eat them in the morning.
So how does that? So you're gonna do the ring girl stuff, and then you go and fight, and then you come back and you're a ring girl again, or after you fight?
I honestly don't know what's happening. I'm assuming it's gonna happen like it did last time, where I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fight 14 or 15 out of 20. So then all those fights leading up to that fight is just going to be like ring girl stuff. And then that fight will happen. And at the end will be the ring girl contest, which is decided by the crowd this time instead of by online voting.
I wonder if we could make that into a. You think we could talk them into making that into a Royal Rumble at the end?
I feel like if I knocked her out, I would definitely just win the ring girl competition at that point.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be cheering for you. You know, we're going to be in your corner.
Absolutely.
So, but if I don't knock her out, or if she doesn't knock me out, I was like, there's just going to be 2 busted ass ring girls at the end of this competition.
She's a ring girl?
Yeah. She I don't know. The promoter text. She was a ring girl. We were actually both ring girls in Rough and Rowdy 14. That's when I first met her. And I remember after I won my fight in Rough and Rowdy 13, I was like, I know they're going to make me fight her. So I knew I was going to fight her like in February, right after I won my fight, because I was like, she's the champion. They're going to make me want to fight her. And of course, that's what happened. But the promoter had like texted me second, I guess, and was like, or maybe he just didn't text me second. He just made it up just so I would say yes. But he was like, oh yeah, like Cherry Bomb's doing the ring girl competition. Are you doing that too? So maybe he just did that to just, I don't know. He could have sent that same message to her and was like, hey, Hot Wheels is doing the ring girl competition.
Yeah.
Just to like get it going in that way. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I guess. Let's just do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's just go hard or go home, right?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Right.
And I think as long as you don't fall in the middle of the ring and just start randomly twerking, then you'll probably be fine. I saw that happened last time.
Did it?
One of the girls, she like fell.
Oh.
And then she just started dancing in the middle of the ring. Like,
Oh.
all right,
Well, good
that
for
works.
her.
I don't know if she won or not.
I was thinking about doing 1-arm push-ups. I got really good at those.
That's a hell of a
that sounds
talent.
pretty good, yeah.
I did 2-arm push-ups last time, so I think I have to do 1-arm push-ups this time.
Yeah, it's got a good follow-up story to it as well. So absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, since you're in the spirit of winning competitions, we're looking for the definitive answer here. Is Hot Wheels joining the Fantasy Going for Two and Friends League?
I would if I knew how football. If I knew football,
You get to be unbiased. You get to just make choices at free will. Do you know how liberating that must feel?
Yeah,
I sit there and just ponder over.
I'm just gonna pick the
hours.
most attractive ones, and then
There you
we'll
go.
see what happens.
You might do okay there. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that most of the ones that are pretty good are good. Like
The
Tom
ones
Brady.
with the ones
Tom
with
Brady
the
is pretty good.
pretty colored jerseys. That
There you go. Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
It sounds like she just told us she's joining.
It's tough. It's tough for us to have a celebrity league without you in it.
That's right.
It's the best of books.
How does it work? I don't even know how fantasy football works.
Well, yeah, we could. We'll all be online, and then you draft players, and then you start players. You get points for it.
And when the players get catches and yards and touchdowns, they get
Yeah.
points for that.
Oh, it seems like a lot of work and stressful.
You said your dad's a big baseball guy. I'm sure he could explain fantasy football to you too.
Maybe I'll make him do it.
There you go. Yeah, you just got to do
Say
it
his
under your name.
Hot Wheels
Yeah.
dad? That's a celebrity in itself too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hot Wheels leading the way. Have you chosen your entrance music yet?
No, I'm still trying to figure out my walk.
Well,
walking
I made a
music.
suggestion and you didn't reply to it.
I know
and it
because
was-
there were like a billion replies and they were like stupid. I
No,
was like,
I
don't-
picked
You
Tupac.
picked
Tupac hit him up.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
a lot of people picked AC/DC and Limp Bizkit.
Okay, so what's wrong with just using Stone Colds?
That would be awesome too.
I don't know that song.
What? Wow.
When the glass breaks and he walks out.
Do you remember when he did that? WrestleMania, man? glass smashed. He walked right out to fight the Undertaker. Oh my God, banging beers.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, just when we're done here, you can Google Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance. And he's made some pretty epic ones. He drives a beer truck out.
I was looking at Mike Tyson stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you got to go to the wrestlers because they're the ones who have the most entertaining entrances.
Yeah.
It's all for the
No,
show,
I
right?
don't want to be entertaining. I want to look like I'm terrifying.
Yeah,
Stone Cold was terrifying.
I would say either
I
that or
wanna
you could do
come
the
in
Undertaker.
And bulk, and I
with
want
the eyes.
Cherry Bomb to look at me and think, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
That would be the goal.
So, what about Enter Sandman?
I don't know that song either.
I hate Metallica so much. Though.
Okay, it's Metallica. You can listen to it. I think that you'll enjoy it. Do you know who Mariano Rivera is? You probably.
Send me your top 10 and I'll pick one from there.
All right, cool.
Oh.
That sounds like we got a poll on.
And
our
we might have a
Instagram
bet to
tomorrow.
put down too, right?
Yeah,
What's the song going to be chosen?
yeah. This is gonna be fantastic. All right, we appreciate you doing that.
And then I'll use your song as my walkout song, and then that's when you know.
Yeah, we made it.
That it's real. That's when we
Yeah.
know it's real, right?
Yeah.
Big ol' hearts.
The love goes back and forth. Now we were talking a little bit about wrestling there, and obviously you're still in the peak of your boxing, so we're not looking to get out of boxing yet. But let's say 5-10 years down the road, when boxing isn't an option for you anymore, would you consider the WWE?
Like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Well, like there's lots of
Except I
females
think
in
she
there.
got chased out of there too, didn't she?
Yeah.
If I'm right.
She got pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what happened? I thought she got chased. I thought that she actually was not liked or something, and she
No,
like,
she
leaving
got.
WWE too.
She recently just got pregnant. I think pretty much.
Yeah. So I guess that's all you need to do to not be kicked out of the WWE is just don't get pregnant.
Yeah, because you can't.
Yeah, I bet
They
you
make-
they would let you fight in Rough and Rowdy
And
if you're
no, they won't. And I had
Really?
I had to take a pee test like last time to make sure I
Jeez.
wasn't pregnant.
Oh.
pregnant. Jeez.
They like make you pee on a stick. It was my first time ever taking a pregnancy test, so that was fun. I was
There you
kind of
go.
nervous too. I was like, "Shit, I might be."
Yeah. How rattling would
I
that
mean,
be?
I knew I wasn't like pregnant, but it was like a really scary and intimidating like thing. I mean, I know. I mean, at like college, they always, anytime you went into like the student activities office, they basically tested you for pregnancy and STDs. So every time I'd go to the student health center, I was always worried that they would have one of those two things. I was like, I'm coughing, and I'm like, oh, you have chlamydia. I'm like, fuck.
Jesus.
Oh,
What school
man.
did you went to William and Mary, didn't you? Isn't that a classy school?
It's like a nerd school. It's considered a public Ivy League, but they do it. The student health center does that like at all universities. Like my sister, my sister's school does that. Like I feel like they do that to everybody. Just you never know.
Where's your sister go? I didn't even know there was a little Hot Wheels.
Yeah, she just got engaged.
Good for her. So she's younger or older?
She's 21, or she just turned 21.
I'm assuming that means younger.
I'm 25.
Yeah, you don't have that in your bio. I have no idea. We see the pictures of you working out. We don't know how old you are.
She's definitely over 18, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So you said she just got engaged?
Yeah, she's been with
Wow.
this guy since she was in middle school.
Holy hell.
They've been together for 7 years.
Wow. Well,
I
good for
can't-
them.
Because the problem is the pandemic. So she went to community college, and then he went to a college that's literally like right next to my house. And so she was supposed to go to tech, but then the pandemic happened, so it was all online. So they never like separated at all. So they've always been together in that way. Like they've never Like I remember when I was in high school, I had like a high school boyfriend going into college, and then like that didn't work at all. So we broke up.
Hey,
like
we're sorry to hear that. We're sorry to hear
yeah,
that.
it's fine. I'm good. I am good from that.
What are you eating over there, Casey?
Asparagus and chicken.
I thought you were going to say something, and then you kind of stopped yourself. So we have apparently censored Hot Wheels somehow.
No, I mean, like, the girl he's with now is pregnant, so I'm good.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, you don't need to be hanging around with dudes with super sperm. That will wreck all your fights.
But I could make, if it's the right guy, it could eventually turn into pro athlete babies.
Okay, Jose is probably listening. Casey, stop with that.
He's like 57.
Yeah.
That's
a prime age for a man.
So he's just a donor at that point.
That's
yeah,
right.
but I don't think it's still viable at that point.
What about Pac-Man Jones? You're going to see him next weekend.
Oh yeah, he's like what? He's 36, right?
Yeah,
he's like 30. He's in his
gotta be older than that.
No, yeah. I looked it up. I think he's like 36 or 37.
Yeah, he's probably right. Yeah, he's definitely not 40. And I don't know for sure, but I would imagine like having kids is something that he's probably pretty good at. So I think
he probably has kids.
Well, that's what I was. Yeah, I kind of think the same thing, but I don't know that for sure.
I see him with kids all the time. I mean, I know he does his own little like training program, but I think he has like his own kid.
Yeah.
There you go. Man. You guys might get fixed up, and then we can live stream your wedding on the show.
These are not the pro athletes I want.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like you need to find Dwayne Johnson. I think that guy would probably be like a good breeder.
He's like 41.
It's The Rock.
No, The Rock. He's my dad's age. He's 40. I think he's almost 50.
That would make sense. I mean, the guy had to have been in his 20s when we were like kids, and he was jabroni.
Yeah. How about this, Casey? You're letting us send you our top 10 songs. You send us your top 10 pro athletes that you'd like to procreate with, and we'll see what we can do for you. We'll reach out to them on your behalf, and we will try and make something like that happen.
Shane's the middleman.
Purely for breeding purposes, nothing else.
Yeah.
We'll just be like horse races, right? Like you just.
Yeah. Turkey baster. Liam, that's what you come onto the mic for?
Wow. All right. Well, Casey, you want to hang around with us and talk about some football, or do you want us to let you go and enjoy your dinner?
I mean, I don't know how much I can contribute, but I can give good commentary if you want.
Okay. Do you know who Andy Dalton is?
No.
Okay. So Andy Dalton is
football player that you say. I know like the basics, like Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers.
Andy Dalton is a redhead, so you don't want to procreate.
I don't even know who the Washington football team. Who's that? Who's the quarterback of the Washington? You don't even know?
Hey, Ryan,
do you not watch football anymore? Not them. My dad doesn't even know our own football team quarterback anymore.
They just signed a new one this year. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who's he?
He's bounced around the league.
Journeyman. He says, "Oh yeah, see, Dad knows."
Yeah.
It's the ongoing joke about when he retires. Whose jersey?
Who's the Ravens quarterback? Is it still that guy?
Lamar.
Yeah, it's definitely a guy.
Yeah. So Andy.
Yeah.
Who's the Ravens quarterback?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So.
Can we play a quiz? Who's the Seahawks quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
I like him. Okay. Who's the Titans quarterback?
Ryan Tannehill.
Thrill.
Dolphins.
Tua Tagovailoa.
I wasn't gonna fuck with that last name. You can have that one, Shane.
Panthers quarterback.
Sam
Darnold.
You guys are good.
Football is life.
Yeah, we do watch football. The show is called Going for Two, which is a
Broncos
play in
quarterback.
football. Drew
Drew
Lock
Lock
or Teddy
or Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, there you go. But so the Bears quarterback, Andy Dalton,
Andy, the Red Rocket.
he said that Justin Fields is going to have a great career, but this is his time. So what I guess not knowing anything about the subject, Casey, if you had somebody that was pushing you, somebody that's a little bit older, you're newer to the scene, and that person saying it's their time, but you're there to perform. How does that?
It's like me and Cherry Bomb. She's 31.
And you know what's ironic is Andy Dalton's a redhead, so he could be a cherry bomb also.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm the new stud, and
he does play like cherry blasters though.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So Andy Dalton,
you are the new stud. You're the Justin Fields. But yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Man, to me, listening to that, it's probably the most outspoken Andy Dalton has been his entire career. Really, I mean, you've probably heard him more speak as a Bengals player and hearing some of the shit he may have talked in press conferences in the past more than I would have. But I've not known him to be a very outspoken guy. So hearing him to come out like that and basically tell Justin Fields, I don't care how well you're going to do in this preseason, but this team's mine. I mean, one, it's a hell of a lot of confidence, but two, where does Andy Dalton get the confidence from? Right? Like, what has he really done in the last 6 years? He kind of had an okay year there in Dallas when he picked up the slack after Dak left, but he certainly wasn't putting up Dak numbers. So we know that he didn't have that kind of talent level. Nobody else fell to an injury around him. Had the same team Dak did.
I can contribute to this. So I watched Tom Brady talk about how he takes less of an income than most of his team because so he can build like a better team, you know? So you want to do like what's best for your team, like who gives, like, I guess I know he wants to do it for his career, but like Tom Brady's one of the guys who's sacrificed like some of his income to do that, and for him to like be like, oh, this is my team, it's such a like dickhead move to be like, oh, this is mine, like, you know.
It's nice to hear you talk about Tom Brady sacrificing for the team and taking pay cuts, because I'm pretty sure maybe about a dozen episodes ago I mentioned that. And Shane and Chad, you shot me down. That never happened. That's not true. I almost posted a link to you after that podcast to prove my point. But it's Cherry. But she even knows that.
I thought you fell. I was like, man, it's not.
What happened?
Yeah, do we jinx you again?
No.
Yeah, the Dalton thing, I think is that the GM and the coach aren't telling him to shut up. I think that Dalton is trying to put as much out there, trying to put the coach on the spot to say, like, yeah, if it's not my time, then come out and tell me. Like, you guys signed me. They gave him whatever it is, $10-12 million. And if he's going to be the guy, he's the guy. But Justin Fields is clearly the better player.
100%.
Let's go to Casey's having struggles.
I'm sorry.
She's having struggles over there. She's using her left hand to try and use the camera. A guy that is 47, so Casey's going to hate him, is trying to make his comeback into the NFL, and that's Terrell Owens. I don't know if you know who Terrell Owens is, Casey.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he played in the league about 15 years ago, but he is ready to make his comeback. So how do you feel about a 47-year-old guy coming back into the league?
I mean,
like, not to procreate with you. I mean, just to like play in the NFL.
To play in the NFL, I don't know, man. You have to beat the crap out of your body. So there was something about the NFL about so I think it was on Barstool Sports where Minuteman like breaks it down that like NFL players won't get vaccine and the NFL wants people to get the, you know, vaccines and stuff like that. And he was like, people will risk their lives and take concussions and get beat the crap out of, but they won't take like a vaccine. And for a 47-year-old to want to go back and get beat the crap out of, and like, aren't you kind of old for that? Like, if I'm 47, I'm like done. I am not like wanting to get beat the crap. Like, you know, Mike Tyson, he came back and, you know, wanted to box or whatever.
Is that what that fight was? Boxing? That when he came back and fought?
Yeah.
It was just really, really slow-paced old men swinging at each other. That's all that was.
Exactly.
T.O., man, I mean, Batman and Robin. What do you think you know who I'm talking about here, right, Shane, when I talk about Batman and Robin and T.O.? Ocho's been trying to get back in the league for years, too. I don't think either of these guys got a chance to come back. Who was the other guy who was going to switch positions to go and play defensive end or something like that earlier this offseason?
Oh, Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs, yeah. All these old guys trying to get back in the league, and not one of them even got a sniff of a PTO. Come and try out. Come and hang out for a day and lift some weights and even see if you can do that still. No, it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, T.O. I miss them. I miss those type of wide receivers, and I think we're starting to get Justin Jefferson. I like seeing when he gets touchdowns, he gets excited and acts out like that. I like seeing that type of wide receiver. So I do miss the T.O.s. I do miss the Ochos. I'm glad I got to see some of them in my football watching days, but these boys just got to hang up the cleats, man.
Well, what about the New York Jets here? And actually, before I talk about the Jets, I should announce our boosted parlay, which is good for another 2 hours here. I don't even know if I told you, Kalen, but tonight we got the BC Lions by 3.5.
Okay.
Tomorrow we want the Stampeders and the Alouettes to go over 45.5. And then on Saturday we got the Bombers minus 3.5. And that's
CFL weekend. All right.
Plus 640.
Wow.
So we got some good money on that. That's from our friends over at CoolBet. We kind of jumped in with Kacey. She's very distracting, so we didn't talk about any of our sponsors at the beginning. Yeah. So what I was going to say, the New York Jets, they got some pretty big blows today. Carl Lawson tears his Achilles, which I can't even imagine what that feels like.
And the player's so good.
That takes a lot of rehab. I had one of my kids do that, and it took over 6 months of rehab. When you tear a muscle, it takes a ton longer to get that back going than it does breaking a bone. Man.
Oh
yeah.
My God.
Yeah, so that's an out for season. And there was one of their safeties, and his name escapes me right now. I don't really know, but he
wasn't Marcus Johnson, was it?
No. He tore his pec and sprained his MCL on the same play.
Oh wow, really? What a freak injury.
What was it? I think his name is Mays. Well, whoever the other
Marcus Mays?
Maybe.
Wow, that's a huge loss.
Liam will check it out for us. Yeah. The New York
Jets, Marcus Mays.
This happened today. Yeah, it might not have been Marcus Mays, but it was somebody. It was something like that. Maybe it was May. I don't know. But yeah, that's.
Oh no, Zane Lewis. Okay.
Okay.
Woo, Marcus, that would be huge.
Either way, that's pretty wild.
Tough. That's tough. You know, I found out the other day the Jets were named the Jets because it rhymed with Mets. Did you know that? I'm not making that up.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's another football team too. I can't remember who.
Yeah, it's called the Washington football team. It's a dumb name.
Hey, they're gonna pick it. They finalized. They made it down to their final 10 or something like that, and they picked a name out of that recently. But yeah, there's another football team too that's named after a baseball team because they rhyme.
I am voting for the Washington Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels. All right.
Wasn't the Washington Wolves like?
Yeah, the Red Wolves. The ones that I think are the popular one is either the Red Hogs. The Washington football team, I think, is still pretty popular.
If it's gonna be a hog, like a pig.
Well, so back in like the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, they had this big offensive lineman that they called them the Hogs. That was their nickname. And that's like people used to show up with pig snouts to the games and cheer them on like that. So if you're an old time Washington fan, that might be why you like it.
Make fun of America about.
Yeah.
Now, Kaylin, I'm going to share the thing that you sent to me the other day. No, it's about losing seasons.
Oh, yeah.
So you might even be able to appreciate this, Kacey, not even as a football fan, just as an athlete. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have gone 17 consecutive seasons.
Holy crap.
At least being 500 or above. So a minimum of 8 wins, 17 years in a row. And the next closest to them is the Seahawks at 8 or the Chiefs or the Seahawks at 9.
Seahawks at 9. Yeah.
So again, I'm going to circle back to our friends at CoolBet because they have the Steelers under 8.5 wins this year, meaning that
you should say I should not pick anybody from the Steelers for fantasy football.
Well, it depends if you want to win or not.
There's only one player to pick from that team.
Who?
Najee Harris.
You don't like Claypool?
I think Najee Harris is going to eat a lot of touches this year, buddy. We're going to see a 300 touch season for him.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. I like the throwing game too.
Yeah.
Let's chat a little bit about our friend Kacey's favorite sport other than boxing, which is baseball.
Yeah.
So hopefully she can help us out with a little bit of baseball. Now, we found out recently that her dad is actually a Nationals fan, which I'm assuming makes her a Nationals fan, which is kind of tough business for us because the Nationals just swept the Blue Jays.
I just bandwagon on whatever, you know.
You just cheering them on.
Well, you could jump on Canada's team.
It's either Ravens, because that's where Bullmore is. Orioles, which I don't think they're doing that good right now.
Oh, they're not doing good.
I know, I was going to say they're not like doing I have the Washington football team, the Nationals, Wizards. Oh, hockey, at least we're decent at.
Casey, you
We
look
like hockey too. Yeah, we like
that's
hockey
amazing.
as well.
That is amazing because we definitely
The
talk about hockey.
Capitals, they're pretty good. I don't ever watch basketball except when, you know, March Madness comes along.
Of course. I mean, everyone watches March Madness. That's just one of those times that everyone becomes a basketball fan.
Yeah.
But so the Blue Jays right now, they just dropped those 2 games to the Nationals. They got a bunch of games coming up in a row that are pretty significant. But even after losing both those games, they didn't lose a single game in the standings because of the slide that the Red Sox are on and the gains that the Yankees are making. So right now they sit 4 games out of the wild card. There's like 38 games left to go. Like, do you think that they have enough in the tank?
I mean, they're losing both Scherzer and Trey.
You're talking Washington?
No, we're talking about the Blue. Yeah, no, the Blue Jays.
Oh, the Blue Jays.
Washington's out. Yeah, they
I was
sold,
gonna say.
they sold the farm. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know if the Blue Jays have enough power to make up those 4 games over the next whatever it is 38.
Well, let's see. That's where I think the problem is. They have too much. They have a lot of power. Their bats aren't sleeping. Like they came alive the other night. Where they down 8-3 and they came back to within a run and they ended up giving up a bunch again. It seems what they need to work on is their finesse. And what I mean by that is their pitching. This relief pitching is crap. Brad Hand? What the hell is going on with him, Shane?
Brad Hand has given up more hits than he's had innings pitched for the Blue Jays.
Isn't that insane? And what's his ERA? It's got to be like, I think when he got there, it was 5-something. I think now it's over 10.
Yeah. I mean, he came over from the Nationals. They thought he was going to be a big deal. The kid that they traded for Brad Hand had, I think, 2 home runs against them the other night. And had 3 RBIs, and I think he was like the YouTube player of the game, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently
the YouTube was that was so weird. It was on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pissed off people being like, "Well, I have to watch this on YouTube, and I'm paying for like a subscription to the Jays or whatever."
No, it's awesome for me because I'm at the cottage, so I just put my Fire Stick in, and I didn't have to dick around with anything.
Giddy up, huh?
Yeah. So the Braves stink right now, or sorry, the Red Sox stink right now, but the Braves have gotten really hot.
Yeah,
and I guess. Like the Braves would be in your division, Casey. So I don't know if you know a little bit about them, but right now they were struggling. They were 6 games out at the All-Star break, and since the All-Star break, they're now 4 games or 5.
Everybody is kind of struggling.
Yeah. Right now, the Braves they've won 9 of their last 10.
Yeah. So now, they didn't make a lot of moves at the deadline either, did they? Like they pretty much stayed pat. Which I thought, like, after losing somebody, like, well, but you lost Acuna. That is a significant loss, right? So I thought they would have tried to make a push because you're right, they have some pretty good team around them, good depth to try and still make a chase there, especially in a weaker division. But yeah, they're playing hot. 9 of 10. They're fun to watch. They're hitting the ball. They're pitching well. Defense is hot. So they've been fun. I don't think there's any reason to worry about them. If you get hot this time of the season, this is when you need to get it too.
Well, yeah, that division's kind of bounced around a little bit. The more intriguing race is, will the Reds catch the Padres in the wild card?
What's going on with the Padres, man? You spend all that money, you make a splash at the trade deadline for even more players there. What's happening? They should have, like, maybe, I know LA is a tough team in the division to win against, but everybody else, it's an easy division, man. Have some fun with it.
We'll go to our pro athlete here, and she'll be able to speak to this more than anybody, but you can't buy a winning team because you can't buy chemistry. So, like, how big?
I think you can't buy a winning team because, you know, some athletes are just selfish. Like I said, just going back to the Tom Brady thing. You want good players. You got to take a pay cut if you want to win.
Well, you know Tom Brady's 42, right? So you can't even keep your eyes on him.
I've been to his house.
Oh,
What?
really?
Yeah, well, not like. So where was that? Oh, I was in Connecticut, and one of my friends, apparently Tom Brady used to live over there, and one of my friends, when we went past like all these big houses, was like, "Yeah, he used to live there," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Nice.
That's my story.
That's Casey. I would hang on to the movie rights for that story because one day that's going to be a bestseller. Yeah.
We could
So,
make it into a bestseller.
Yeah, the chemistry for the Padres doesn't seem to be there. They just moved their best player to the outfield, which is an interesting move, right? I mean, it makes perfect sense if you're the GM, and maybe it makes perfect sense to the manager. But if you're Fernando Tatis, like, how do you feel about that? If you're Machado, how do you feel about losing the guy beside you? I'm not sure if Casey took us into the bathroom or what she might be doing.
I'm in the
Well,
kitchen.
I mean, as Tatis, I'm sure he doesn't really matter just counting the dollars to the bank anyway. I'm saying that facetiously. I really don't think that he's the type of player to be like that. But at the same time, I would be saying to myself, these guys signed me to a $300 million contract as a shortstop, not as an outfielder. Outfielders don't get paid that. Right. So, I mean, it's something he's going to have to go into the offseason. It's going to be a long offseason. He's probably going to have some questions he's going to have to answer with himself. The injuries you mentioned, they're a concern. You can't have your best player hurt all the time. And that's a position that's going to probably draw more injury out of you than anything else on the field. Right? You have to be very, very agile. You're making quick cuts. You're typically handling any fast blind balls coming towards your way. Right? So it's a very difficult position. I think that it's the wrong move to put him in the outfield. Just focus on his training. Focus on like his.
Did you see that athletics pitcher get hit in the head?
Oh, I didn't even. Man,
It's
that was like the most disturbing play to see, dude. He dropped so fast, and like I couldn't imagine what that would feel like. Like I remember getting taught how to take an ear hole and how to give an ear hole in football. Right? That was that you run down a straight line, and then the coach would have you just go run your helmet straight into the kid's ear hole. Hopefully, you take out the best player. That was Saunders football.
Ask Kirk about crack blocks.
Yeah, crap. Yeah. But then even that, right? Like, I mean, what's a guy running in high school? He's maybe running, 15 miles an hour at you when he runs helmet to helmet. That's 105 mile an hour fastball coming at your head.
I think that our viewers just doubled.
15 miles an hour is like what?
Nothing.
I said I think our viewers just doubled when Casey started eating that pickle.
I'm choking on a pickle.
Okay.
We'll give you a minute, Casey. So yeah, over 100 mile an hour ball velocity coming back at you in the side of the head, and it's condensed too. Like Shane, you were a pitcher. Well, first year as a pitcher, you're the most difficult position. The eyes are always on you, and then you have the most potential of getting hit with the fastest velocity ball at any given time.
The immediate thing that people come to is they should wear a helmet. They should have a special hat to block something like that. And there's nothing that they can give you that will block from a head injury on your temple. So he could have been wearing a goalie helmet, and he's still going to be hurt. Now, would it have drawn blood? Probably not. But would he?
Any object, I think, coming at you at 75 miles per hour is going to hurt.
Yeah, it was like over 100 too. It was pretty wild, and I mean it's scary. And the announcer's like, "Oh, I think he went to make a play on the ball and missed it." I'm like, no, he was finishing his pitch, and it was back at him before he even knew.
Before he even blinked. Yeah,
100 miles an hour, right? Like it seems like he's got a broken orbital bone and like a face fracture, but other than that, no significant damage. And I mean, obviously that's downplaying it a little bit, but it seems like he's going to be okay.
Do you think as the pitcher, you watch the video, or maybe you don't watch it because it'd just be too freaky to watch, but do you watch it and you see your catcher run for the ball before running to your aid? Do you have any comments about that?
He went to – I don't think that he realized it hit him in the head until he got a little bit closer, because it did look like his glove was there. And it looked like it kind of like skimmed off the glove a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, if I was that guy, like it's not like the catcher's a fucking doctor. So yeah, if you can get the out, get the out. I
Mhm.
mean, at least make the
I mean-
injury and not be in vain.
Speaking from experience, you don't really realize I think your body like when you're out in that type of like adrenaline situation, I don't think you realize you've gotten like hit in the face until like maybe an hour or so later. Or maybe especially if you're like knocked out, like
Yeah.
you don't realize, like I broke my wrist and I didn't realize the pain or realize I had broken it until like I actually like tried to pick up a 5-pound weight. So he probably just didn't even, he got knocked out and was like,
Oh, I think he wished he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Being up and awake for that pain. Holy shit.
Well,
Yeah.
The pain is worse the next day, probably, right? Like,
oh no, it's
when-
worse like an hour later. If you're not
Yeah.
taking drugs, like less than maybe like 30 minutes, it starts kicking in.
yeah, and we don't condone taking drugs on the show, right, guys? Yeah, right. Bullshit.
Caffeine's a drug, and so is
yeah.
alcohol.
Well, weed is legal. Weed is legal in Canada, so we can do whatever
It's
we want.
legal here too. It
Well,
just Virginia, I think, just said it's okay to have an ounce or something on you.
Oh no, no,
Just
like,
catching up to Canada, huh?
we can go to a store and buy it.
I can go to DC and buy it.
Yeah, but not off like a slumlord. I'm talking about like we can
No,
actually go into a
DC
retail store
Yeah,
and buy it.
I'm pretty sure DC is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can go to a dispensary.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Like, what do you got for final thoughts for us? Because we're getting to the end here. Liam usually wraps us in about 5 minutes from now. Let's give us some final thoughts. Give our viewers a reason to watch Rough and Rowdy and watch you cherry blast that chick.
Well,
I wouldn't mind a round guess too. Give me a round guess of how far this is going.
Oh, round 2.
Oh, okay.
Round one if I'm lucky, like if I can like get it together, but round 2 definitely.
Giving her
Because
so
she's
many
gonna
rights,
get,
she'll be begging for that left, right? Give me a
because she's gonna get gassed, and
Yeah.
the first 20 seconds, the only thing she can do, the one thing she likes doing is just coming out like hard 20 seconds, and then she realizes she can't do it, and then she's like, oh shit, and then gets gassed out.
There you go.
Round
Let her
two.
fucking tire herself out and then just nudge her over. Little troll.
Exactly.
Yeah. We don't want to give your whole strategy away here.
But yeah,
Are
you
you
guys
going to talk to Pac-Man for me? Let him know that you got a fan of his that you've been hanging out with, talking to?
I'm a little scared of him, but
Yeah.
I'll definitely say probably high.
That's what I want to hear.
Lights out, Bobby Lang. I definitely think he can knock him out, but he's definitely kind of like a little bit of a scary dude to me.
How connected
Actually, I
are
don't know.
you?
Between Jose was pretty scary dude too. He was huge.
How connected are you at the trailer park? Because I think that, you're going to be always our number one Rough and Rowdy, but if we were to put another person on here, I think it'd be that Birdman. And that guy can smash beers and crush cans on his face while he's talking to us if he wants. But if you can go ahead and hook that up for us, Casey, that'd be ideal.
Yeah, I probably would definitely say. I mean, like when you get there, they all gather you like in a group to like tell you about the rules and everything and what you can and can't do. That sometimes gets ignored. But everybody's there. I mean, every time I've been to that event, everybody's been super awesome. Besides, like maybe the Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack.
Yeah, the Rough and Rowdy.
That was the first one, right?
That was the first, yeah.
Witches. Remember
But
that?
other than that, everybody's been super cool. Like, it's a lot of it is also people just, I guess, doing it for, the TV. Like behind the scenes, they're just more rowdy than they should be. But
Right.
I think like last fight, I talked to a lot of the fighters, as the ring girl and everything. Like because it's actually kind of sad because I wanted because the past two fights, it's kind of been some of the same fighters, and it's nice to see like familiar faces. But I think only like 2 or 3 of the fighters from last time are actually coming this time. So
Only the strong survive.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's the way it is.
Yeah, and so you're gonna ring girl, and you're gonna wear that fire bikini again.
I'm getting another bikini.
Oh.
It's still gonna be fire themed, but I somehow keep finding them.
All right.
Just
so
finding new ones.
you'll post some teasers, or we have to wait until the event?
I probably will post a teaser because
Yeah, you will.
mostly because like I need because I still need to like lose a couple more pounds. I know that sounds like that sounds really like, what is it, vain or dumb? I don't know.
You've
It's
also
not-
eaten every second that we've been on here.
Yes.
Just like you have like different snacks hidden around your house. You're just going room to room finding snacks.
That's my entire life. That's what I do all day. I just eat.
Well, either way, we appreciate you coming on. We know
Yeah.
that you're going to be the champion. We know that we're going to have you on again very soon. Like I said, please don't big time us when you got the strap. And
I could never. You've been the OG.
Yeah.
Oh, I like hearing
Yeah.
that, man.
And yeah, if
You
can get
just send me your list of walkout songs.
we will get that to you by Saturday or Sunday.
Perfect.
Hype.
And I will choose one, and then you can make some type of thing out of it.
All
Sounds
right.
good. And we will we'll definitely be tuning in for the fight, and we'll be cheering you on. And good luck. Not like you need it, like you're gonna cherry blast that chick. But for anybody that's still around, still listening, make sure you're subscribing to YouTube and the Twitch channel. And obviously we're on Facebook Live every Monday and Thursday at 7:30. So we'll see you guys Monday, and make sure that you check out Kacey on the 27th, Rough and Rowdy 16? 15?
15.
15.